How has online dating worked for you? Posted a comment on a metal band's official page and got a request from this chick. Started talking to her cause I wanted to bone but ended up with a house and a kid with her. 10 years strong straight out of my space. So your attempts to bone were successful? He overboned. Some might say a bone too far. My friend was weighing the pros and cons of dating this girl. He described a girl who I thought sounded really great and advised him to see her. He didn't and I never met her. She had a unique name and years later I see that name on Tinder. I think it couldn't be a coincidence, so I message her the story of my friend and how I thought he blew it. We've been dating for 7 months. I told my friend and he got a good laugh. Girl I met online I dated for a few months. Turns out she was temporarily separated from her husband. She started seeing another guy without anyone else knowing. I find out she was cheating on me and still married when the wife or girlfriend of the guy she was messing around with spray painted her car when she was caught at his house one night. The police called me to figure out where I was that night and told me she was married, but not to the guy she had been spending the night with. This was the same day my mother died. Met my ex-girlfriend on Tinder. 2 years together followed by an healthy adult breakup. We still keep a good relationship post-breakup. I think we were both so ready to find someone right at that time that we haven't stopped to take time for each of us as a person. We became one person as a couple and not two people part of a team. We were doing literally everything with each other and that led to our downfall. Still like her very much though and probably always will. I guess my advice is a lot of people are ready to put everything on the fast lane while dating online, and that's a mistake. Take your time. I met a girl on Xbox Live when I was 17, Black Ops 2 to be specific. Ended up exchanging Instagrams and eventually phone numbers. She was in Texas and I am in Washington. After about 6 months, we started to do long-distance dating as we'd both taken an interest in one another until I realized that I was probably never going to meet her, so I broke things off after a few months. Apparently she didn't like that, so 2 days later, I came home from school and she's sitting on my front porch with her bags. She packed up her life and moved to Washington because she wanted to be with me. Ended up dating and living together for 3 years until she left me for another guy she met on Xbox on a game that I bought for her. LMFAO TLDR met a girl on Xbox. She moved across the country for me and then left me for another Xbox guy. Not great. Highlights include the dude that kept texting me pictures of Hitler until I blocked him, several who got too drunk to stand, one who puked as I tucked him in and then called me a snotty bitch for not fucking him, and the guy who licked my face with no preamble on the ride home. Yeah, I'm done. LOL. On the internet nobody knows you're a dog. I was skeptical about it, but I swiped aggressively, both left and right, for 2 weeks, hoping something would work out. Ended up that after 3 weeks I had a date with 2 separate girls, Saturday and one Sunday. Saturday flaked the morning of, claiming to be too hungover to make it. Mind you, this was 10 hours before the agreed time, so I was not impressed. I was cool about it though, said we could reschedule for later in the week. Second girl messaged me that afternoon asking if I wanted to meet that night instead. I said yay absolutely, thinking, hey, that's pretty neat. So we agree to meet at a restaurant of her choosing, and I show up 5 minutes early. Get there, and there's a private event that's closed to the public. So now I'm thinking this is quite a curveball. I wonder if I will have to pretend to know someone at their private corporate event. It wasn't that, though, she just didn't know about the private event. So we went somewhere else. Been seeing her for over a month now, and it's going great. Sure, there are plenty of horror stories, but really my personal opinion is that even if you have 9 bad dates, it only takes 1 for it all to turn around. I may have gotten lucky, it is still early, but even if I hadn't, if you are serious about wanting a relationship you have to keep trying. It won't fall out of the sky. Was on several online sites for a few years. A couple of dates here and there but nothing serious. Then I connected with one girl and we clicked. First date ended up being a 3-hour conversation hanging out at a restaurant where we not only knew we went to the same college at the same time, but had mutual friends. I thought it was too far-fetched that we hadn't met in college, so that night after the date I went through old digital photos convinced we had met. I found a group photo with her in it. Then remembered meeting her. We absolutely would not have worked as a couple. Thinking it was a bit much to tell her that I spent an hour scouring photos, I waited to tell her that we actually did meet in college. On our wedding day a year and a half later. It was a reveal in my vows that even somehow after our first date, I thought it would be a surprise to tell her later on. Our child just turned 10 weeks old, we love each other and bicker like an old married couple. All because we had another chance to meet at the right time. Before. Blowing money on video games and fast food, lonely and slept as much as I could. After. Married, have a daughter, I'm part of her family now and I love them all, home is clean and comfortable, and we're smart with our money, and we'll have a house with land before too long. So it's all a trap, I fucking knew it. I joined Tinder after I had broken up with my ex, as per my friend's insistence just to have fun. Within 3 days I had matched with a guy with who we never ran out of things to say, so a week later we met up and we just clicked. Fast forward, it's now been 3 years that we are together and even more in love than when we first met, and we even have a house together. Well, it works. I've been on 4 dates via Tinder and 1 date via Bumble. Problem is, either I have bad luck or I am just an idiot. Date 1 puked on me and tried to make out with me naked in a hallway covered in vomit. Date 2 went psycho and started to stalk me and even found out where I worked. All this because I wouldn't help her steal a gosling from a petting zoo. Date 3 pretty sure it was a setup to rob me. Date 4 uneventful, but we realized we didn't click well. No craziness, a nice woman. We were just in different places in life. Date 5 Bumble met in person and she said I was too short for her. I'm 6'1", she was 4'11". I spotted a guy at my local bar doing lights for the band that was performing, and I sadly got kicked out before approaching him for using the men's washroom because I couldn't wait in the huge women's lineup, lol. Anyways, so I immediately downloaded Tinder to see if I could find him, and I did, and he matched me. We're still kicking it 3 years later. Thanks Tinder. Rather debilitating experience, lots of fraud in pictures and about me descriptions and fake likes, looking at you, match. I had pretty much given up, stopped subscribing and only stayed on one where I could receive messages for free. And then a gal sent a message, we were an incredibly good fit, had a heck of a lot of fun together, she moved in after 4 months with her 3 Bengal kitties, it's been a year now, and we have 5 Bengal kitties. This seems pretty suspicious, I think we're gonna need pictures of all those Bengals as proof. Met my soulmate and now wife while on a Tinder date. She wasn't the girl I was on the date with, but I still partially credit Tinder with putting me in the right place and time to meet her. I want to hear the story. How that happened. Basically, the girl who I was on the date with was nice, but we didn't hit it off. We had a nice conversation, then she said she was going to meet with some friends later at a nearby bar and asked me if I wanted to join. I said what the hell and went, one of that girl's friends is my now wife. We hit it off immediately, but things were a little awkward because I wasn't sure if I was still on a date with the other girl. Luckily my wife reached out to me later through FB, and the rest is history. Although the 2 girls are not friends anymore. Oh. Nice. Thought this would have been one of those stories where you hit it off with like the waitress or something. It gave me the courage to talk to women about dating and relationships, and I suddenly realized that I was wasting my time. I knew that I needed to talk to the girl that I actually knew, who I cared for, and who might have feelings for me. That was 7 years ago, and now I'm married to the love of my life. Matched with a girl on Tinder and we decided to meet up. She looked a lot chubbier in person, but I didn't mind. Problem was she brought her fat best friend without telling me, and she stayed throughout our date. I was pretty much left out of place the whole time. I wouldn't have been able to resist saying, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with a threesome on the first date, but I do admire your initiative. Probably made her seem less fat. Ultimate life hack, just bring someone fatter than yourself so you look better in comparison. Met a girl on Tinder. While talking about our hobbies, she mentioned that I perhaps would be good match for her best friend, both very nerdy. We agreed to meet up later at her home that day so I can meet her and to play some Smash Bros. This totally happened, I swear. We had our 1-year anniversary about a month ago. And that is a real friend. I've been through it all from online dating. I think I am a decent looking dude but awkward and goofy and never liked meeting a girl out at a bar or something because I felt like I had to be someone else and not myself. All my official relationships have been with girls I have met online, and it's been a doozy. First girl ever met online ended up getting engaged until I found she had a Facebook under a fake name and was dating for someone else for a few months at the end of our relationship. Second girl I met online ended up going to college together and moved in together for about 6 months until she cheated on me. Third girl I met online, dated for a few months, great relationship, but ended cause she was moving to Florida to be with her family. Fourth girl I met online, dated for 4 months, and then I broke up with her on New Year's. My feelings for her just ended out of nowhere, and it really confused me. Fifth girl I met online, dating now, been together for over a year and live together. Moved to a different city to be with her and got a great job there as well. Our awkward introverted goofy selves complement each other and I can fart in front of her. She's the one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories. Mothership will be glad with you.